So yesterday we got a ton of gameplay from the new Battlefield 1. Whether your opinions on that are positive, negative, or you just hate the announcer, whatever, but today what I want to talk about is the weapons we did see in that gameplay. So I'm going to go through every class one at a time, and then I'll go over the secondary weapons last because they were the same for every single class. And yeah, the gameplay in the background is going to be level cap and jack frags. I'm using it from their channel, and well, let's get right into it. So obviously first up we do have the assault class. For them we did see three weapons, the first of which being the Model 10A, so this is going to be a Remington shotgun. Then we did see the MP18, and that was kind of the submachine gun. It almost looked like a Type 100 from World War II. This was a German made gun. And then finally we got the M1918, which was the Browning automatic rifle. We saw this in World War II settings as well, and it's kind of like it's a light machine gun technically, but it handles more like an assault rifle or just really an automatic rifle. So I do want to mention this is pre-alpha, this is all subject to change, but I'm going to kind of say how I feel about these decisions to put these in the assault class. First and foremost, the shotgun definitely fits in. Obviously, assault class should be the one with the shotgun, the run and gun style gameplay that we should be seeing with assault, not the medic gameplay, but nonetheless, yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. The MP18 I find to be pretty interesting there. It is a little bit overpowered. I don't know, through the live stream I felt like almost everyone was using this MP18 if they were playing assault. I feel like we did not see much shotgun gameplay, we didn't see much Browning gameplay, so not really sure how I feel about that. It seems like that might need some balance changes. Again, obviously it's pre-alpha, but I don't know, especially not seeing a bolt action or semi-automatic rifle at all in this class, despite it being World War I, where that was a lot used. Obviously, there's a wide variety of weapons available, but I don't know, just found that a little surprising nonetheless. And then finally, we have the Browning M1918, and it seems like the most fitting here, although I'm kind of surprised. We saw, like, I didn't realize this was a World War I weapon. I really thought this was a World War II weapon, but I guess obviously M1918, and yeah, nonetheless, it was cool to see that there. I am excited to use that because it's just a fun weapon. It's like the way it handles like a rifle that just is automatic, has way too much recoil. You almost have to single shot fire it anyway. But nonetheless, I am pretty okay with the assault loadout. I kind of wish there was more semi-automatic rifles or more bolt-action rifles. And I know it's the pre-alpha, but I just wish there was more of a focus on those types of rifles. I would rather these other more automatic weapons come later. And frankly, I didn't see anyone using a shotgun. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe comment down below if you did, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how things play out and change in the future, but that is my opinions on the assault class. So up next we do have the medic class, and the three weapons we did see with them are first and foremost the Sabre Gotti, and this is actually going to be one of the first battle rifles of the era. So this is going to be a rifle that can have selective fire capabilities. At least this is all real life stuff. I don't know how it's going to work in the game, but it technically was only single shot and burst fire, so that's pretty interesting, a burst fire weapon like that right off the bat for the medic class. Then we do have the Winchester Model 1907, or in the game it was the Model 1907 SL, and this is going to basically be your typical semi-automatic rifle, and nothing too crazy going on there. It's just a semi-automatic rifle produced by the United States. And then finally we have the Mondragon rifle. So this is actually kind of interesting. I guess not really. It's really just a bolt action, but it was actually produced by Mexicans in Mexico. So I didn't even know Mexico had any relevance in World War I. I guess obviously it did. It was used by the Germans, obviously not by the Mexicans in World War I. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And yeah, so those are the three rifles available to the medic class. It seems like this is where we're getting all the bolt actions, or all the... So it seems like the medic class got all the semi-automatic and bolt-action rifles in this, which is pretty interesting. I guess it does fit because the assault being a more running gun, the medic is hopefully just going to follow that up and revive the assaults when they die. But yeah, so I mean, there's not much to critique here. There's not a huge amount of variety, or at least it doesn't seem like there's a huge amount of variety. You just had three regular rifles here, and then one of them being bolt-action. I don't know if we saw gameplay of the Sabre Gotti, if I'm saying that right. I did take Italian, so I should know what I'm doing, but nonetheless, I don't know if we're saying that right, but is it burst fire in the game? I looked through all the footage and I don't remember seeing it, but it might have been in the background somewhere and I missed it. But that would be pretty interesting to have a burst fire weapon, because I don't know, I imagine that'll be the only one. But yeah, so not a huge amount of variety so far with the meta class. Hopefully we'll see more in the future. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what are your opinions on that class? So next up, we do have the support class, and this is kind of following the same suit as support class in previous games. They do have the Lewis gun, which is a machine gun. They do have the M19-019 Bennett Mercier machine gun, which is another, your typical machine gun. And then finally the Madsen machine gun, that's the one with the top loaded that was made in Denmark. And again, a machine gun. So it seems like this is going to be pretty much the same as previous games, just different weapons and different skins, but I imagine the support class is going to play a similar role with some suppression or just laying down heavy fire, because they have all machine guns here at least, and I couldn't tell a huge difference from watching the gameplay between the different machine guns. They all seem to handle at least relatively similar, and obviously they had different layouts and different names and probably did different amounts of damage, but large in part it was either a higher damage to lower rate of fire or lower damage to higher rate of fire or stuff like that. So I'm sure as time goes on we'll see more, and maybe there will be some more changes, but from this point of view I can't tell that there's anything super crazy going on with the support class. So next up we do have the sniper. They did get 3 weapons or at least we saw 3 weapons in the pre-alpha. That was the Russian 1895, which is otherwise known as the Malincher M1895. That seems to be like the real world name, which is just a bolt action. All 3 of these are there's nothing super crazy about any of them. They're just your normal bolt action rifles made by different countries at different times, but all in the same time period. And then we do have the Gewehr 98, which is what was widely seen in the trailer. A lot of people are using the Gewehr 98 for whatever reason. And then finally the SMLE Mark III, which is otherwise known as the Lee Enfield rifle. So I'm sure you heard of that in like things past. Nothing too crazy going on here. The only thing that's kind of notable is the Gewehr 93 or Gewehr 98 has a internal magazine kind of deal going on, where the other 2 snipers do have external magazines that you unload and reload like normal magazines and normal rifles that you see today, where the Gewehr 98 you actually put the bullets into the gun, which, I mean, nothing too crazy there. I'm sure the reload times are more or less the same, which is actually interesting. I guess the Gewehr 98 would probably take a lot longer to reload, but it is a video game, and yes, so that is the sniper class. Seems like it's playing the same role as games past. So then last but not least, we do have the 2 secondary weapons we did see from the pre-alpha, and the first of those being the M1911. If you don't know what the M1911 is, well, you probably should. I don't think there's much to say about that. It's a semi-automatic American-made pistol. And then after that, we did see the P08, which is actually just a Luger. So if you know the Luger from series past, that is exactly what that is. I'm sure you've seen it in other World War II era games, and that is made by the Germans. And yeah, I mean, there's not much to go about on these last 3 classes, but pretty interesting nonetheless. I am pretty stoked for the game to come out. I'm excited to see more gameplay, and I'm excited to see more perspective gameplay. I'm like Level Cap uploaded some, Jack Frags uploaded some. I'm hoping some more YouTubers will start uploading their gameplay from the event, because I like analyzing that and all that. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a comment on how I can improve or if I missed anything, and subscribe if you're interested. I'm going to try and start getting on the Battlefield 1 hype train. I haven't really made any videos about it yet, but hopefully this will kick that off. If you are excited for this, make sure to subscribe and comment down below what weapon you are most excited about seeing in the game. As always, I thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.